Good morning. This is going to be my actually my first video of sort of gun review slash just overlook of this gun I got here. This is a Wilson Combat Beretta. It's the Centurion Tactical Beretta version of this. Get up close and personal look at it. A little history. I was in the Marine Corps for 11 years, and be it as it may, there's a lot of people out there that really either love or hate the M9, and I was not a big fan, really, to be honest with you, with the M9. A lot of reasons out there. You know, they weren't taken care of as well because there's so many people had their hands on them, and the armors kind of just, you know, haphazardly did what they needed to do. But long story short, my big issue was the grip. I have smallish hands. Well, actually, I have small hands, and it really didn't appease to me. I couldn't get my hand around the weapon very well, and just didn't feel really well. Long story short, again, just 2020, I had some money coming into play, and I had a chance to get the gun I really wanted to get, and I was hell bent on getting the SIG Legion 229. And don't get me wrong, that is a fine weapon, but just had a lot of time before the money came in, so what I did is did a little bit of comparison and did a lot of YouTubing, and came upon this version from Wilson Combat. Well, as soon as I pretty much looked at it and online, I'm like, wow, that is that is not the Marine Corps' version of the M9 that I had back in the day. I just, to be honest with you, I fell in love the first time I saw this weapon. I didn't know that they had the Beretta style grip, which is it's not really new. It came out about 20 years ago, but they discontinued it for a while and just kind of, you know, left it on the shelves, so to speak. But the M9A3's got that grip. But what it is essentially is, think of I could just basically call it almost like a para-ordnance double stack 1911 type grip. For me, I love the 1911 type grip, and it was a selling point. And as soon as I had the opportunity to actually go and put an M9A3 in my hands, it was pretty much game over. And when it came time to order the weapon, I went ahead and said, "Yeah, give me this gun." I did some reviews on it. It got just glaring reviews, and I can see why. I'm going to get into some of those things that people really like about them. There's not a whole lot I don't like about this weapon, to be honest. I mean, really, there's nothing. And the grips are amazing. I guess we can just really start off with some of the small things that really won me over. Well, let's just start off with the front sight post here. Get a good angle on that. That front sight post, they call it a hackathorn. It's a tritium night sight, and it's got the orange, I guess you call it outer ring. Really can't see it well too much. My camera's not all that great, but it is very visible. And as you look through the rear, it's got they call it the U combat sight. Wilson Combat makes it, and I'll tell you what, for acquisition of target, it is amazing. I mean, you can pick right up on it as soon as you pick. You know, as soon as you point that weapon, I mean, you're locked on. I wouldn't say it's a ranged target sight per se, because I mean, you're giving up a little bit to you know, really small detail looking. But I'm telling you, it's the best setup I've had, and I'm more along the lines of, you know, this is my carry gun, and I really like that. Okay, moving on. Another thing about this I like is it's the Centurion, so it's actually got a smaller type of basically, it's not quite the compact, it's not quite the full size. It's, you know, the Centurion is actually shortened down a little bit. You can see as the barrel's not protruding as much, and it's got the standard rail system on the bottom. And this has got the actual rounded trigger guard. This is a M9A1 frame with the Centurion actually slide, and I like the rounded frame. Some people don't. I prefer it. Moving on. It's got the front checkering. For me, that's a must. I like front checkering on a weapon. Moving back to the grips, these are G10 VZ, and I'll tell you, these are some outstanding grips. I ordered the gray ones from Wilson Combat. They're upwards of $70, and I just kept migrating back to the black ones. I think they look really, really sharp on there. You can see the almost carbon fibrous look to it. I added these myself, these grip screws. Those are cool hand grip screws. I really, really like those. They're just a little bit different. I like them. So, I mean, I ordered those. I put those on. I also went ahead and got, I'm going to show you this while we're at it. This is a Mekgar 18+2, so essentially 20 round mag. And for me, there is no other mag that can even compare to the performance and the loading of this magazine. The first round goes in just as smooth as the 20th. And I mean, you can see they're +2. And I'll tell you, just, it don't protrude out a lot. And this Beretta actually comes with a 20 round mag. I don't even want to go get it. It's just, it protrudes down way below the actual grip, down about here, and almost anybody can tell you it is a monster beast to load. It is, unless you have an Uplola, you can just you're gonna have a hard time loading the first. I mean, from the get-go. I didn't care for it. Wilson Combat, actually, I called them and I asked them if I can send them that magazine and back, and they can just give me a standard 17 round magazine just to kind of, you know, I don't even use it. And they actually sent me a 17 rounder and just said go ahead and keep the 20. So I mean, kudos to the customer service department of Wilson Combat. Outstanding. Okay, guess moving on. Everything else, I mean, I said, you know, I opted for the trigger job. This is actually, you know, what they call Action Tune. Adds about $120 extra to the actual weapon. I paid out the door roughly, you know, close to $1,500 for this, but you know, some people are like, no, that's just a Beretta. Well, it's got a lot of features, you know, all steel parts. I mean, if you just add up all these things, they will add up to it. And I got the Action Tune. I absolutely have no regrets on that. That is just an amazing job on the trigger. It's ridiculous how smooth this is. I'm gonna try to show you guys here what I'm talking about in a nutshell. It's probably close to about 3 pound single action and right under 8 for double action pull. Make sure there's nothing in here. Got a safe weapon here. Well, here's the single action pull. It's just, I mean, ridiculous. It's just, I mean, this does it no justice whatsoever. And like I said, it's close to 3 pounds. And just by the way, real quick, if you want to go ahead and dry fire your gun, I have a at-home remedy. I usually stick a shaved piece of cork into this area right here. So when you go ahead and fire it, it doesn't actually engage on the firing pin. Some people can use those foamy ears. It's just another do-it-yourself kind of thing that I do. Here's the skeletonized trigger. It's the Elite 2 skeletonized trigger, or hammer, I'm sorry. And this is also a G version, 92G, which means it's a decocker only. You know, unless you're a big Beretta aficionado, this is probably one of the more sought after, especially if you're going to carry this weapon, features. And the G series, the 92G, just regular Beretta, they are kind of hard to find. So this is not a conversion. This comes standard. And what that is G means it's a decocker only. So if you engage the decocker, like on some, like the M9A3 and others, that will actually be a safety and will stay down, and that could possibly hinder you if you have to pull this weapon in a defensive situation. So I don't even like that being an option. So when I got the G, I mean, there's no other way for me. They do make conversion kits for most Berettas, so I mean, I highly suggest it. But that's my personal preference. Anyway, moving on, they have a beveled magazine well, just to help, you know, basically help you insert the magazine. This one's got a magazine guide. This is a Wilson Combat part. That actually, I like it a lot. It doesn't have the lanyard loop or the little cover on it. It's got Wilson Combat on there. The rear checkering in the back. Like I said, it just points outstanding. All metal parts, steel trigger. Everything's just, I mean, this weapon is just, I am so glad that I went with the Beretta vice the SIG. And like I said, nothing wrong whatsoever with the Legion, but pound for pound, this is, I mean, I think it's in a class all its own. I mean, this does it no justice. And, you know, most everyone, when I show it to them, they were just like, wow, that's it's a pretty pretty good looking for, is that really a Beretta? Well, to me, it's really more of a 1911-ish type of combat handgun to me. Like I said, Beretta really, to me, was never an option before, but it's been a long time since I've been in the Marine Corps, and I can't say enough good things about this weapon. It's a little pricey, upwards of $1,500 if you opt for the action tune job, but like I said, I mean, this is going to be with me for the long haul, and I carry this on a daily, and to me, I think $1,500 is worth my life. It's accurate. It's more accurate than I'll ever be. This thing's, another feature I forgot to kind of show you if you can see it. It is a recessed crown target barrel. And what that does is that ensures that, somewhat, people really don't realize on the edge of these barrels, if you nick any part of that, it could definitely alter that round coming out there. It can impact performance and, accuracy a great deal. So that is recessed, so that's a target barrel, and it's stainless steel. And it's just another feature. There's just so many features. Stainless steel barrel, and it's got the and actually don't have the D-hammer spring. It's got all silicone springs in it. Oh, I will open this up and show you another feature that I did. Sorry. Let's just do this. I'll hold you up here for 1 second. And we're going to go ahead and show you. What I'd like to do is get any kind of features that... Oh, sorry about that. Now we're back. Sorry for the lag. This is my first video. Bear with me. This is a shock buffer. And Wilson Combat made these. And it's just a little piece of plastic. But what this does is... There's only $5 on the website. Really cheap edition. I just dropped the guide rail. But what it does is this little piece of plastic goes in here, and it actually is a buff between the slide and the actual frame of the weapon. And that essentially will, to me, it doesn't really, they say it affects muzzle flip, and it does actually. I saw a small difference in it, but what it does is it kind of adds longevity to your weapon. And to me, I'm going to do everything I can to keep this thing in tip-top shape. But it's like I said, it's only $5 from Wilson Combat, and it lasts for a good while. It's plastic, and it just goes over top of your guide rail and goes in here. That's just another thing that I added on there extra, and just really cheap upgrade. But to me, it's one of those things that, why not? If $5 is gonna save me, more wear and tear on this weapon, you better believe it. And it's it's got the ambidextrous decocker switch on both sides. You can see it's not really, it is the low profile, but like I said, I like the decocker only version of this. A lot of people had problems with this weapon because they said it took a really long time for it to ship. I went right through my my local gun store, and I had it. Well, I put a rush on it, but I had it within a day and a half. And like I said, very happy with this purchase. I have never had a better shooting, looking, and just quality of a handgun. This is I would say it's a custom gun. It's not a production per se, but I'd say just like kind of mid-range. You've got a lot of Wilson, pretty much mostly Wilson Combat parts in this. A lot of people send their Berettas out to get work done from Wilson. This is pretty much everything in a nutshell Wilson could do to a Beretta. And in my mind, this and the Elite LTT neck and neck. I guess you can throw the 92X Performance in there as well. That, to me, though, is more of a range and target gun than anything else. This weapon is actually, you can go IDPA and can be entered into competitions. And like I said, Bill Wilson is actually a huge Beretta fan, and that's why he took on the project of making a, I would say a version, but kind of taking on and putting his swing on it. And a lot of people are saying that this is everything they wanted in a Beretta is pretty much, he listened and he made it so. So sorry if this video was kind of, rudimentary or kind of just, plain, but this is my first one. But I do want to just kind of give you guys an example of what this Wilson combat weapon is. And like I said, if you're on the fence of getting this gun, I'm telling you, it is money well spent. And if you want something that's gonna outlast you and outshoot you, and I put my life with this weapon, don't even think twice or hesitate. Go ahead and get that Wilson combat. Thank you very much, and have a great day.